artist who kind of heard of these funding and had no idea where to start, where would you look?
There is actually so much money out there in Western Australia for artists to kind of be able to record, tour, develop, and I think it's not well known enough actually how easy it is to get some of that money. There's always a lot of debate around arts and music funding and whether there's enough, and in Western Australia we can do better, but one of the perks as an artist in WA is that pretty much all our funding goes direct to artists. There's very little money in the music space from government for festivals, for labels, for other music businesses, but there is a large dedicated fund exclusive for artists that they're able to tap and use. There's a lot of assistance about being able to get that. You can get 20 grand a year, and actually a lot of artists year after year after year are getting 20 grand each and every year to support a tour or support recording or to do something. And it's a max of 20 grand, and you put a good pitch to government, with under a month you'll kind of get a reply and be able to get more money. And there's a lot of tools actually available there to be able to help you get it. A lot of people get scared by writing an application, writing a grant application, but actually after you've done a couple, they become pretty methodical and kind of a bit samey. So you've just got to buy that bullet and get that first one or two done, and you might get knocked back for the first or second, but then as you go, you'll find that putting in 12, 13 hours work and getting 20 grand, that sounds like a pretty damn good payoff to me. Organisations like WAM exist to assist you with that. We'll read, if you're a new artist who's doing a grant application for the first or second time, we'll read your application and give you feedback about whether or not it kind of fits the criteria, about whether or not what your chances are to get that money. We actually spend a lot of time encouraging artists who might put a $5 grand application in, actually turn around and say, no, go for the full 20, and give artists advice about how to kind of maximise, you're going to turn that around. And so that's on a state level. And secondly, on a federal level, often we've got artists who are more developed. We've got a federal government who is very aware that WA doesn't get their fair slice of arts and music money. And it's the same again about being able to put forward a good application in that space, particularly if you're looking at international export and development. There is very good opportunity for West Australian artists to kind of go in there. They know they need to fund WA, they know they don't get enough applications. Seek a bit of help from people in the community, seek a bit of help from WAM, but we're all around helping you get that money.
Okay. Any artists in the crowd should definitely listen, because that amount of time put into an application, you're not going to replicate that funding very easily without signing a big contract or something like that. And it sounds like being underserved in WA is actually never help. Yeah. Right. On to the next one. This will go back sort of to Rachel. Do you have any tips for a rollout strategy, or like the practical strategy for an artist? Is there a way someone should do it, or what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think there's ways you should do it. It's mostly about being consistent. I guess keeping the music coming, keeping the social media consistent, and just instead of just doing song by song, having a clear plan. I mean, the way I kind of structure my management roster is we have a 12-month plan minimum of the songs that are coming out for the next 12 months and what that looks like. If it's an EP rollout or an album rollout, then what comes after that is generally a tour after that, and then looking like beyond that, is it singles, what's next? Just having a clear plan, a guide to help you, I guess, stay consistent with it and keep things rolling. I guess releasing songs can't just be releasing songs, but they do need a bit of a strategy behind them. I guess we did a really cool release campaign with a guy called Your Boy Mars, where the song was all about, it was a fabricated story that he got cheated on by his girlfriend, and we hired this female actor model to come in, and she played the part in all the short form campaign, and so she posted on her socials like, I cheated on him, and then he posted on his socials, this is the girl that cheated on me, and we kind of built this fabricated story, and it got him a distro deal with Warner, so it worked out in the end. It was pretty good. Just I don't know, strategy and consistency is pretty important. Yeah.
That sounds like some good advice there. Did you say you brought some toolkit stuff?
Oh yeah, I've got some release checklists I can hand out after.
Anyone's interested?
Yeah.
Rachel's the person to ask.
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a mindset one, and this isn't just for music. So Jamal, if you want to talk about this, but as an artist or a creative, how do you treat your career like a business?
You have to step out from your comfort zone. Like, that's the step number one. You have to realize that if that's the person you want to be, if you really believe that you have the talent, you need to talk to yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I have to put my head down, write the things you have to do, and treat it like not 9 to 5, more of a 24-hour thing. Because you got to be dedicated, you have to be committed. You're not just doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for a big vision, for a big purpose. I think the main thing is you need to have a mindset that allows you to see yourself beyond how other people see you. You need to make sure that everyone around you also believes in you. So you need to act accordingly. You just have to stay committed. I think mindset in any sort of industry, if you want to really succeed, you really need to talk to yourself and commit. That's the main thing.
I think in this space as well, I think it's really important that people who are starting out get that set up right. And I think we have a lot of artists who start to panic because they don't have a booker, they don't have a manager, they don't have a team around them. But actually, in Western Australia, the pool's pretty small for that kind of assistance. And a lot of local acts go a long way with only a tiny team around them, or maybe only a booker, maybe only a manager or a part-time manager. It's kind of thing we don't need to panic if you have those things, you don't have those things. But I think when you're self-managing and you're pushing stuff out, it's also really important at that start to treat people with respect and do well. Because I think what you'll find in this space is that if you turn up to a venue, you maybe get a sport gig and you're rude to the venue staff, or you're a bit arrogant with how you kind of talk and treat people, that you're not going to get that second go. I don't think people do spend a lot of time seeing how people act, how they behave, how they're working with others within those teams when they're starting out, and it actually does